Royal Connection Magazine TV Show, c'est une émission qui porte information communautaire, entrevues avec des hommes et femmes d'action de la communauté. À noter également les bonnes adresses pour services ou besoin et la publicité des meilleurs produits et services disponibles. Royal Connection Magazine TV Show avec Anna Pierre, présenté sur diverses plateformes audiovisuelles, sur Rupi Production TV, YouTube et Facebook, chaque vendredi soir, 7h PM. Sur IT TV en plateforme Roku, chaque vendredi, 7h PM. Chaque lundi, 10h PM. Tous les mardis, 3h PM. Tous les mercredis matin, 9h AM. Pour publicité et information, contactez Anna Pierre au 305 274 66.
Mesdames et messieurs, moi souhaitez nous bienvenue dans un autre segment Royal Connection Magazine. Jodi a une chose spéciale pour nous. Invité ma soeur, c'est un monde qui très spécial. Moun sa, li c'est un papa. Un papa que nous t'ai honoré en 2019. Li c'est un monde tout que nous déjà feature dans Royal Connection Magazine. Moun sa, li c'est un monde qui a fait un pile travail communautaire ici dans South Florida et au Nigeria. Li c'est un fondateur yon organisation qui relève HELP, yon organisation à but non lucratif qui a travaillé ni ici ni au Nigeria. Moun sa, li te gen chance aller en Haïti déjà ensemble avec sénateur Daphne Kimball pour la bail service à frère à sœur nou yo en Haïti. M'tareme viewers yo, téléspectateurs yo, et dem welcome Dr. Yinka Tella. OK? N'a pris une pause publicitaire. L'un tourné, nous allons faire un pile causé avec Dr. Tella. The only thing Dr. Tella doesn't speak Creole. The interview, the meeting is going to be done in English parce que c'est anglais le parler. OK? So ta doit faire kounye a, ta reme que ou vignon abonné. Si ou poko yon abonné. So doit faire, prends téléphone ou, tape Royal Connection Magazine TV Show, à droite dans écran, wap wè yon ti écriture qui marqué subscribe, li en rouge, ou cliquez sur li, ou bien tapel, ou manuel, et puis c'est qu'on s'en vignon abonné. L'on fait ça, ou pas perdu yon yota dans vidéo que nous gen pour nous présenter sous écran. L'autre bagay ou doit pour faire. Relé tout moun ou connecta, supposé garder show, di yo que show yo wa. Royal Connection Magazine is on. Miss Anna Pierre, zanmi yo, mandel yo pi yo gade show. Okay? We'll be right back.
C'est vrai, la santé c'est richesse. Mais sous chita gade richesse, la panique fini dans mon oui. Fifi, enini, kaba. C'est ça que fait santé pam ak toute famille remettre ça dans mes docteur Rose Meseid. Calcul la bien simple. Docteur Rose Meseid spécialisé dans médecine famille dans Jackson Memorial Hospital. Certifié par Board Family Physician, ratifié par paquet de patients que le desservi pendant 20 ans dans notre Miami. Donc qualifié pour le prendre soin ak famille ou j'en mérite là. Docteur Rose Meseid occupé de monde 18 ans et plus. Santé femme physical pour immigration ak moun qui besoin faire licence CDL, physical pour travail, gen toujours. Mais ça m'pire meilleur. Pas que monter descendre aller pour te tourner vini, gen laboratoire tout équipé pour faire tout tes sang là même. Moi, prends plume, crayon, comment c'est dit papier, écrit adresse Prima Health Center, 125 North East, 167e Suite, North Miami Beach. Téléphone 305 217 74 62. 305 217 74 62. Prima Health Center. This is it!
both of her bags. I just don't know which one to choose.
Hello, my name is Evan St. Ford, and I am the CEO and founder of St. Ford's Funeral. My family's been in the industry for over 21 years. As a family, we understand what it's like to lose a loved one. That's why we've come up with all-inclusive packages. We offer funeral service packages, burials, cremations, catering, flowers, caskets, urns. We have a chapel that seats over 300 people. We can assist you with your rabbis, your priests. We have funeral service plans, and we offer pre-planning so that you can plan in advance. We serve all in our community. We've even offered financing plans for those who have financial difficulty. We don't do this because we have to. We do this because we care. Let us help you with all of your arrangements so that you can have the time and comfort you need.
Belle.
Aubry.
Koto yi la?
Moi dans studio. Et ou même koto yi la?
Nan Sherlin Bloom.
Ou pral shopping? Ou pas menen?
Belle, viens voir.
M'a vini.
Wow. Wow.
P.I.
Beautiful.
P.I.
Blandi P.I. Nan Sherlin Bloom.
Tout ça m'bat pravan yo, m'a prat tout jodi a. Ser nan Sherlin Bloom.
Bella.
Aubry.
Est-ce que songe condition nan Sherlin Bloom?
Très bien mon frère. 3 costumes, 3 chemises, 3 cravates, 3 paires chaussettes, 3 mouchoirs poche pour seulement $373.
Nan Sherlin
Bloom! Kon sa m'vle dou.
Office avocat Maître Festin Pétion, l'ouvri porte dans 19790 West DC Highway dans suite 701 Aventura, Florida, et c'est expérience qui travaille sous Calégalo. Sans perdre du cas autres qui parlent l'autre langue. Mais grand monde sous, les 954 404 74 96 créole parler haïtien comprendre. Avocat Festin Pétion où est là, il a plus passé 25 ans d'expérience dans gérer problèmes légaux pour haïtiens, et pour victimes abus ou soit négligence. Là pour là, les 954 404 74 96 pour tout cas à bord traka, accident automobile, réel kamakorel, pour docteur qui a fait mauvais coup d'histoire, moun qui mourit derrière de la loi, divorce, immigration, cas criminel, transaction real estate qui a fait en la chale, vie pipe sont tombé dans le travail. Enfin mes amis, depuis ces problèmes légaux, solution normale avec Maître Festin Pétion, et ça n'a pas songé, c'est que Office avocat Festin Pétion remporté un cas multimillion de dollars pour un client que l'était bien représenté devant le tribunal. Office avocat Maître Festin Pétion, l'ouvrir du lundi au vendredi, de 8h du matin à 6h du soir, le samedi sur rendez-vous, fermé le dimanche. Adresse là, c'est 19790 West DC Highway, dans suite 701 Aventura, Florida. Téléphone là, c'est 954 404 74 96. Website là, c'est pétionlaw.com. Office avocat Festin Pétion et son équipe, paré pour Kaba tout caca traka.
We are back from the break. As I mentioned in the introduction, I have my guest on the screen. Hello, Dr. Tella.
Hi, Ms. Pierre. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate what you do in the community.
Thank you, and thank you for creating the time to be our guest today. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Yes, they know who you are. I spoke about you at the beginning, but it's better for the guests to introduce. There are things I may not know about you. Tell us a little bit about Dr. Yinka Tella.
Okay, Dr. Yinka Tella is an immigrant to the United States from Nigeria. I actually got here in the year 2000. If you have monitored me on my Twitter feed, I called myself the transplanted African because I was already an adult, somebody who was already set in his ways before I came to the United States in the year 2000. I already had 2 master's degrees from Nigeria, including an MBA before I came here, and I have a master's in college student personnel from Western Illinois University in Macomb, Illinois, and I'm a Panther. My doctorate is in higher education from Florida International University here in Miami. I've been very much involved in community service in South Florida as the former president of the Nigerian American Foundation. I know we did invite you to some of our events, and you came and you enjoyed yourself. And we have also had the opportunity to work together side by side, serving the community. We went to Tallahassee. Exactly. That was when we were honored. The Nigerian American community in Florida were honored at the Capitol, courtesy of the initiative of the former State Senator Daphne Campbell. Currently, I'm the Public Relations Officer of Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, Americas USA, which is the umbrella body of all Nigerian organizations in the United States. I am an educationist. I worked with Broward College for quite a few years, from 2004 to 2020. Currently, I'm the president of Global Tell Inc. and also president of Health and Education Law Project, which is a 501c3 dedicated to enhance access to quality health and educational services by underserved people in South Florida and also in the Caribbean and in Africa. So those are some of the things that we have been doing, and as you ask questions, I'll be able to expatiate more on those areas of engagement.
Very good, very good. And on a personal level, is Dr. Tella married, and how many children do you have?
Yes, I am married. I've been married since 1997 to former Miss Shola Awotunde, now Mrs. Shola Tella. She is a pharmacist. We actually co-founded the pharmacy together in 2009. And although we sold it right before the pandemic, we sold it because it was becoming increasingly difficult to operate it profitably because the big chain pharmacies, they set up insurance companies, and then they were basically shortchanging the small pharmacies. So we decided to get out of the business. And right now we are basically engaged in humanitarian work, and where we are growing our business on the side, other business on the side.
You know, I say that just for you to speak to the community, because I have the opportunity to meet your lovely wife. You were both featured in the Royal Connection magazine, and I just put the picture on the screen just now for the.
Oh, nice. Nice. And thank you so much, like I said, for all the things that you do with the International Fathers Association. Also, Shola and I, she's a pharmacist, she's in the health field, I'm in the education field, and that's actually how we came about the concept of Health and Education Love Project, which we funded. We actually set it up in 2008 to focus on issues pertaining or germane to access to quality education and health services by our people in Africa, in the Caribbean, and here in South Florida. Because when you look at it, there's a common thread, that binds underserved communities together, is that they have access more to ignorance than education. They have access more to dysfunctional health facilities than having quality preventative and preventative care, because you need to be able to prevent diseases. You need to be able to make sure that when people are sick, they don't necessarily need to produce money before they can access health facilities. It's very important that we do whatever we can do to remove all those barriers. With regards to help, actually, we discovered that in Nigeria alone, there are more than 30 million out of school kids in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the countries with the highest number of out of school children. So, and this was actually accentuated by, an organization called a terrorist group called Boko Haram. Boko Haram literally translates to education is forbidden. And they actually went out and they were kidnapping students from colleges, and they were terrorizing the community, leading to an increase in the number of kids who are out of school. So we went to northern Nigeria. We partnered with a local missionary, and we were able to, donate for supplies to be taken to them in their camps, whether we're talking about sanitary pads, educational materials, and so on and so forth, just so that those kids could get some sort of comfort. So that was one of the reasons why we funded Health and Education Law projects, for example.
Okay, so the organization is called HELP, H-E-L-P in English.
Yes.
And
yes.
then the letters stand for Health, Education, Love, and Projects.
Yes, it speaks to our passion for health and education.
Wonderful. Well, I know you are from Nigeria and I'm from Haiti. Both countries have inherited some type of colonialism, right? I don't know if I say that right. That is still hurting us. Can you tell the audience, life about Nigeria when it comes to instability, if I may say that, education and healthcare?
I think, like I already alluded to, I think the way the world is organized has been really, let's take the country of Haiti, for example. Haiti got its independence from the French, actually fought the French to a standstill, and they had to abandon Haiti. Unlike the United States, which was able to be in charge of its fortunes right from 1776 up until today. Haiti was not allowed to do that. Haiti was slapped with all sorts of taxes because they dared to actually confront the colonialists and to chase them out of the land of Haiti. And that has continued to perpetuate a cycle of poverty, of violence, that has really, and corruption that has really made it impossible for quite a while now for Haiti to develop a positive trajectory of growth. In Nigeria, because you're asking me to compare and contrast, in Nigeria, the colonialists, the British, in this particular instance, even though they left Nigeria when we attained political independence in 1960, or flag independence, which is like more than 1 century, almost 1 century after, more than 1 century actually, after Haiti got its independence. They did not really leave Nigeria to be able to determine its own fate. We negotiated amongst ourselves in Nigeria the 1963 Constitution, which was a federal system of governance. But then even the first election was rigged by the British because they were playing favorites and they were playing one tribe against the other. They basically left the country in a state where we could not say that we are really unified because they were still interested in continuing to control us remotely. And the colonial tendency that the British fostered on Nigeria, that the French fostered on Haiti, You can even see it anywhere we go in Africa now. It's only in Africa that you go to a country and you talk about Francophone Africa, which means that their official language is basically French, and their culture is supposed to be French, even though we are talking about Cote d'Ivoire, we are talking about Guinea, countries that are supposed to, be entitled to some sort of self-determination. When you come to Nigeria, we have more than 200 languages, but we are considered an Anglophone country because English is our official language. But what we need to be thinking of right now is how we can come together as Africans in Africa and even the Caribbean, so that we can think globally on how we can reshape the future of the African continent as probably just one country, but with the constituent parts of that country being able to control their own resources. They just donate part of their whatever they are able to generate, they donate to the center, who will be responsible for foreign affairs, for defense, for economic policy, so that we can stand strong and be able to negotiate with the United States of America, or with Russia, or with China. China actually is the new colonialist in Africa right now, because they are giving out so much loans that they know countries cannot pay back. And their calculation is that if countries cannot pay back, then they have to pay back through the assets that they are financing. And of course, once they control all of those assets, they'll be able to control the political destiny of those nations. So we need to ensure that we resist that second colonialism, and the Caribbean needs to be on the same footing, because there's no reason to really have just Haiti and the Bahamas and all those. There has to be a way for all the Caribbean, all the countries of African heritage in the Caribbean to come together for their common economic interests, and to be able to be politically viable entities that will say no to colonialism and continued exploitation of our natural resources.
Yes, but with so many people in Nigeria, about 200 million, Dr. Tella, is this possible to have that global, for Nigeria to lead itself? Not being negative, no, don't take it that way though, but.
Ms. Pear, there are more than 1 billion people in China, I think like 1.5 or so now, more than 1 billion people in India. United States is more than 200 million people. And we have tensions in the United States too, between the African Americans and Asian Americans and so on and so forth. And, even if you reduce a country to like 500,000 people, there will still be some that will be the ruling class and some that will be the root class. There will be some people that will be the in class, and there will be others that will be considered as the outclass. So what we need to do is look at the global picture. As long as we allow the various ethnic configurations, cultural configurations to control their own destiny at the local level, and to be able to harness their own resources, to develop their human potential, and to develop their environment, and to further whatever aspiration that they articulate are common to them, I think we'll be fine. The problem is that whether it's a big country like Nigeria or a small country like Benin Republic, politicians always find a way to divide and conquer. We need to stop that. We all need to come together, look at the global picture, and look at how we can develop the human component, which is really what matters. We want people to be happy. We want people to have access to good health. We want people to have access to good education. We want them to be employed after they graduate from school. We don't want them to be roaming the streets. We want people who have technical skills so that we can conquer the environment. We want to be able to innovate, and so on and so forth. So these things are very simple, but we don't need an elaborate, we don't need 50 heads of states 50 of everything in Africa, or 56 or thereabout, for us to be able to do that.
Yes, yes, but for that to happen, it's going to take some change of conscience from our leaders. Look at Haiti, for example. We are in 2021. They just assassinated our president. They did not have to assassinate him. They did not have to. They are still referring to Haiti. When they talk about Haiti in the big media, they always said Haiti is the poorest country in the hemisphere. Okay? A lot is happening in Haiti. And maybe because we have inherited bad leaders who are only conscientious of the well-being of their family and their friends. Because what happened in the domain of healthcare, I'm a nurse, I know how people are supposed to be taken care of when they're sick. You're sick in Haiti, there's not a good hospital, but the rich and some of the politicians, they can fly out of the country to go to the Dominican Republic, to come to Miami, to Cuba, to receive health care. So a lot of people, they could have been maybe not dead from their illnesses, okay, if they had access to health care. Even in education, they send their kids out of the country to study in Canada, to study in France, and right here in the United States, right? So they're supposed to create good schools, just like you mentioned, do some things that the general population can benefit from. So,
and that's why for me, it doesn't matter what we achieve as individuals, because, for example, Nigerians are considered the most educated ethnic group, racial group in the United States. But for me, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything until we go to Nigeria and we fix Nigeria. And Nigeria is supposed to be the beacon for the Black race. We are supposed to be the leaders. So we need to pull ourselves up and lead. Until we are able to achieve something significant with Nigeria, it doesn't really matter if we have the best medical doctors, the best nurses, the best researchers in all sorts of universities. We need to go back to Nigeria and fix it. That's important. We need to do the same thing with Haiti, and we cannot continue to blame the colonialists. We have to do our own part, and that's why I said,
definitely, both countries, Haiti and Nigeria, you have some youth who are involved, who are engaged in activities they were not supposed to be involved in because they have nothing to do. There are no jobs. And what do you want them to do? Not everybody has integrity. Not everyone wants to suffer. So all this we need to come together as a group to do for our country.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
A short break. And then when you come back, we will talk about that event you have coming up to formally introduce the help organizations. Okay? We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Evan St. Ford, and I am the CEO and founder of St. Ford's Funeral. My family's been in the industry for over 21 years. As a family, we understand what it's like to lose a loved one. That's why we've come up with all-inclusive packages. We offer funeral service packages, burials, cremations, catering, flowers, caskets, urns. We have a chapel that seats over 300 people. We can assist you with your rabbis, your priests. We have funeral service plans, and we offer pre-planning so that you can plan in advance. We serve all in our community. We've even offered financing plans for those who have financial difficulty. We don't do this because we have to. We do this because we care. Let us help you with all of your arrangements so that you can have the time and comfort you need.
Office avocat M. Festin Pétion, l'ouvri porte li dans 19 790 West DC Highway dans 8701 Aventura, Florida, et c'est expérience qui travaille sous cas légal. Sans perdre du cas autres qui parlent l'autre langue. Mettre grand monde sous, les 954 404 74 96 créole parler haïtien comprendre. Avocat Festin Pétion où est là, il a plus passé 25 ans d'expérience dans gérer problème légal pour haïtiens, et pour victimes abus ou soit négligence. Là pour là, les 954 404 74 96 pour tout cas à bord tracas, accident automobile, réel kamakorel, pour docteur qui a fait mauvais coup d'histoire, moun qui mourit derrière de la loi, divorce, immigration, cas criminel, transaction real estate qui a fait en la chale, vie pipe sont tombé dans le travail. Enfin mes amis, depuis ces problèmes légaux, solution normale avec M. Festin Pétion, et ça n'a pas songé, c'est que Office avocat Festin Pétion remporté un cas multimillions de dollars pour un client que était bien représenté devant le tribunal. Office avocat M. Festin Pétion, l'ouvrir du lundi au vendredi, de 8h du matin à 6h du soir, le samedi sur rendez-vous, fermé le dimanche. Adresse là, c'est 19 790 West DC Highway, dans suite 701 Aventura, Florida. Téléphone là, c'est 954 404 74 96. Website là, c'est pétionlaw.com. Office avocat Festin Pétion et son équipe, paré pour cabat tout cas tracas.
A handbag from the Zotobwe collection is a constant reminder of the holidays and time spent with family and friends. We have a different handbag for every occasion. You can show your patriotism with a Patriot bag.
Your love with one of our Romeo and Juliet handbag. You can also say thank you to someone with one of our gift thanks beauties. Each one of our multi-purpose Zotobwe handbag is a work of art and workmanship. The Zotobwe handbags come in all colors. They can be hand carried or used over the shoulder.
It's not just any handbag, it's a Zotobwe, the brand of elegance. So what are you waiting for? You can get your handbag at
www.zotobwe.com or you can call 1-855-968-6273 to place your order.
C'est vrai, la santé c'est richesse. Mais si tu as gardé richesse, la panique finit dans mon oui. FIFI, NNI, Kaba. C'est ça que fait santé pam avec toute famille. Me remettre ça dans mes docteur Rose Messeid. Calcul la bien simple. Docteur Rose Messeid, spécialisé dans médecine famille dans Jackson Memorial Hospital. Certifié par Board Family Physician, ratifié par paquet de patients que le desservi pendant 20 ans dans notre Miami. Donc qualifié pour le prendre soin avec famille ou j'en mérite là. Docteur Rose Messeid occupé de monde 18 ans et plus. Santé femme physical pour immigration avec moun qui besoin faire licence CDL, physical pour travail, gen toujours. Mais ça m'pire meilleur. Pas que monter descendre aller pour te tourner vini, gen laboratoire tout équipé pour faire toutes tes sangs là même. Moi, prends plume, crayon, comment c'est dit papier, écrit adresse Prima Health Center, 125 North East, 167e Suite, North Miami Beach. Téléphone 305 217 74 62. 305 217 74 62. Prima Health Center. This is it!
Haïtiens rassemblés, nous tous concernés.
Chaque mercredi soir, entre 7h et 7h30, sur Radio Méga, Prima Health Center avec Dr. Rose Messeid a présenté une émission qui relève la santé, ses richesses. Dans l'émission ça, vous avez pile information sur la santé, qui gens pour gérer santé ou, et aider à prendre plus bonne décision dans le choix vous fait à qui côté tout, qu'à prend corps plus bien. Yon côté qui ouais la santé ou, avant toute bagaille. C'est ça que fait, la santé, ses richesses, c'est émission pour là. Chaque mercredi soir, 7h pour arriver 7h30 avec Dr. Rose Messeid. Bonne écoute.
Moi malade couché, pas à lever. Pas à lever.
are back from the break. For those of you who are just joining in, we have our guest today. He is Dr. Yinka Tella from Nigeria, one of the notable citizens in the community, South Florida. They have an event coming up. The HELP organization. HELP stands for Health, Education, Love, and Projects. That take us right to the project they have, one of the projects they have coming up, which is an event. I'm going to let Dr. Tella tell you about it. The event is on November 20th, right, Dr. Tella?
That is correct. Like I said, we started Health and Education Love Project in 2008, and we've been involved in the community. We've made some donations to various organizations that are going to Haiti, that are going to Jamaica for different medical missions and so on and so forth. We actually were able to get Broward College to donate some furniture worth about $60,000 to our organization, Health and Education Love Project, which we in turn passed on to the country of Haiti through the agency of State Senator Daphne Campbell of District 108 at that time. We also donated part of the furniture to a couple of schools also here in South Florida. So we also went to Nigeria, like I said, IDP camp and so on and so forth, just to try and see how we could improve the conditions of internally displaced people in Nigeria. We also adopted 2 schools, one in Jos, in the central part of Nigeria, and one in Lagos, just to be able to improve the infrastructure there, to be able to improve the quality of instruction, and to be able to upgrade the curriculum such that when the students are done, they're ready to go to the university locally or here without any stress. So those are some of the things that we have been doing. And on Saturday, November 20, we are going to formally launch that organization. And it's going to be at the Miramar Sunset Lakes Community Center. It's going to be a banquet and awards night. That night, a very brilliant boxer from Nigeria, Ralph Akpejure, who aims to be the next heavyweight champion of the world, and who has already logged a 12-0 knockout record, is going to be talking about what drives him, what made him as a young kid who grew up in the Surulere area of Nigeria and came here and earned a master's degree in mechanical engineering after coming here on a basketball scholarship. He's going to share his inspirational story with our guests. So I want you to be part of that. Go on our website, www.healthandeducationloveproject.love.org. Actually, no project here. www.healthandeducationlove.org to make your donation and come and join us. It's a minimum donation of $50, but you can donate $1,000 if you are so gifted, you are so blessed. Also, we're going to be launching our apprenticeship program for mechanics. We're going to get some local mechanics. There's a local mechanic who has already volunteered because in Africa, the way you learn to be a mechanic is to be an apprentice. So if somebody's interested in that, we're going to get them to be with that mechanic who's really accomplished. And it's going to, over a period of 6 months, it's going to teach them how to do it. We're going to pay him to do that. We are also honoring 2 people, prominent people. Sophia George is a research professor at the University of Miami School of Medicine. We are going to be awarding him the Health Champion Award. And Mr. Anthony Okoma is the Executive Director of Foundation for African Democracy. We're going to be also awarding him with the Pan-African Service Award on that day. Now, with Nigerian, with this particular event, it's not a Nigerian event. With Nigerian events, which my sister has witnessed, they always tell you to bring your dancing shoes.
I have participated in events organized under the Nigerian Foundation. Is this event going to be any different?
Yeah, to the extent, a little bit, to the extent that this one is not just appealing to Nigerians and patriotism of Nigerians and their friends. This one is appealing to humanity generally. We are saying that we need to help, especially after COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs. They need to upskill, they need to retrain. So it's important that we have the funds to be able to help some of them to retrain so that they can re-enter the workforce. So that's one thing we are doing. I talked about the apprenticeship. I talked about the interventions that we are having in Nigeria and the AD and so on and so forth. So all those funds that we are able to gather that night.
Dr. Tella, the people who are interested, you're gonna have what type of programs? Can we name the programs that you guys are sponsoring beside mechanics, nursing, and what else?
So there is, right now, we're actually in the process of doing applications, and we are still accepting applications for vocational grants for people who are already in school pursuing vocations like early childhood education, like nursing, like pharmacy technician, and so on and so forth. You can actually apply on electrician.
Anything in computer?
Yes, computers, yeah, electrician, computers. They can apply. I think the flyer I sent it to Ms. Pierce, she'll probably
just put the flyer on the screen so they can see the programs. We put the flyer on the screen right now.
So feel free to apply. We're going to be making those awards also that night.
People can recommend people, or they have to apply on the contestants must apply themselves on the website.
Both, you can recommend yourself. You can just apply. Just go online, apply, and we look at your credentials and we'll see if you qualify. And if you qualify, we'll give you the award. So that's one of the other things that we'll be doing. So please come and join us that night. Bring your dancing shoes. It's going to be fun.
And we're going to have, of course, music. Definitely, I know we're going to have music. They always say, put some music on, and the Haitians and the Nigerians, they will find the dance steps to accommodate to it.
And one of our best DJs, DJ Big C, is going to be featuring that night. If you know him, you know that he comes part. He has a lot of credentials in getting people to actually get up and dance. So come with your dancing shoes and let's have fun as we raise funds. To help people. That's why we call it lending. That's the team actually. Lending a helping hand.
And most importantly, the community needs to come in to support because it's for a noble cause. And let me say that before I forget, I want to thank you. Thank you for your support over the years. And I'm sure at the last event, Actor Ike Ogbonna was very pleased when he sees you and Murphy at the event for the Father's Day because, he flew from Nigeria to come here on 20 hours, he said. So he was the Father of the Year for 2020. And he could not come because of the pandemic, but we had to do a virtual presentation last year. But he did promise if things were, better, if he could travel, he would come in, and he did come. And thank you for your support. And let me say it again. For those who don't know, Dr. Yinka Tella was one of our nominee award recipient, a father honorary for 2019. Thank you for the work that you do. And I commend you also as a father for what you're doing here in South Florida and in Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my sister.
Any last word before we separate tonight?
Yes, my last word will be that sometimes we look at what's going on in our environment. We see a lot of issues that needs to be resolved. We see a lot of things that require intervention, and we're overwhelmed. I want to appeal to everyone. Whatever you can do it and do it now. Do it and do it now. If you touch just one life.
That's right, one at a time. And that one life that you help change can help another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has that multiplier effect. So don't be overwhelmed with everything that is going on. Sometimes you just have to do one thing at a time and make your own little difference, one person at a time. So please join us. Let's work together to improve our nation, our community, because honestly, that's what we are here to do on that. Otherwise, life itself will be meaningless.
Thank you, Dr. Tella. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Thank you for giving us your advice to the community on how to help. It's one at a time. Whatever you do, whatever you can do, do it to help your community. Right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will see you on November 28th at the event.
We cannot wait.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Wherever you may be, grab a chair and have a seat. I have a message for you, a message that will make you think. This message is full of love, this message is full of hope. This message can change your life, it It's a message of deliverance.
Your dad is a king, my dad is a king.
Oh yes.
We're princesses and princes, together we are royalty.
Let's sing in Creole.
Papa Usewa, Papa Usewa,
Papa Usewa.
C'est princesse, princesse, ensemble, ensemble.
Nous c'est famille royale. You've been suffering for a long time. You are broke beyond measure. They're looking down on you like a dog without a master. You are a special person. This VIP no one knows about. Your dad is a king. And don't you know he is the king of kings?
Your dad is a king, my dad is a king.
Sing it again.
We're princesses and princes,
Together we are royalty.
Papa Usewa,
Papa Usewa,
Papa Usewa,
Papa Msewa.
c'est princesse, princesse, ensemble, ensemble.
Nous c'est famille royale. Yes! Are you ready to come on board of the royal train? If you are, say yes. Come on, put your hands up. Move to the right. Move to the left. Miami, New York, Washington, Chicago, Japan, Mommy Africa. Are you ready to get on board? Put your seatbelt on. We're taking off. Our daddy's rich and powerful. Once we do what's asked of us, we should have all that we need. We should not lack anything to inherit the kingdom. There's 4 steps that must be followed. Once we do what's asked of us, we have rights to everything. Do you know?
Your dad is a king, my dad is a king.
Yes, he
We're
is.
princesses and princes, together we are royalty.
Sing in Creole.
Papa Usewa,
Lisewa.
Papa Usewa,
Oh, Lisewa.
nous c'est princesse, princesse, ensemble, ensemble. Nous c'est famille royale.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
To inherit the kingdom,
Tell me, are you ready?
to inherit the kingdom.
Let's go. Step number 1.
Give your life to Jesus.
Step number 2.
Believe in the word.
Step number 3.
You gotta do his will.
Step number 4, my friend.
Appears difficult.
I say step number 4.
Appears difficult.
You ready? Here it is. Love your neighbor.
As you love yourself.
What you don't want for you.
Don't wish it for others.
If it's not good for you.
Don't give it to your brother.
What you don't like for you.
Don't wish it for your sister.
Seems like you agree with the rules. Let's sing together.
There's a beautiful
Oh, what a balance.
lots of golden chairs.
Golden chair.
All those who want to walk.
Yeah, 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 yeah. King Jesus. Let's sing in Creole. Bel Palais Cristal. Tout moun ki vle marcher. Oh yeah, yeah. Cantan in espagnol. Palacio.
Royal Connection Magazine TV Show, c'est une émission qui porte information communautaire, entrevues avec des hommes et femmes d'action de la communauté. À noter également les bonnes adresses pour services ou des besoins et la publicité des meilleurs produits et services disponibles. Royal Connection Magazine TV Show avec Anna Pierre, présenté sur diverses plateformes audiovisuelles, sur Rupi Production TV, YouTube et Facebook, chaque vendredi soir, 7h PM. Sur IT TV en plateforme Roku, chaque vendredi, 7h PM. Chaque lundi, 10h PM. Tous les mardis, 3h PM. Tous les mercredis matin, 9h AM. Pour publicité et information, contactez Anna Pierre au 305 274 66.